Okay, today I wanted to walk you through a research process. For example, let's say you're in class and you're tasked with having to do a research paper on, let's say, a stop and frisk policy that certain municipalities, police departments use. So what I would do if I was doing that, I would come to our web page, which is the library's web page, which is right here, and then I would click on Discovery, and that would bring me to this page, and then I would click on Advanced Search. I like this using Advanced Search because it gives me more options to use different things, which you'll see in a few minutes. Now, for example, stop and frisk policy. Stop and frisk. Okay. And I'm going to click on Search. And that gave us 52,068 hits. Now, I don't have the time to read 52,068 different websites or hits or articles. So I'm going to thin this out the best way I know how. Okay, first of all, I like using peer-reviewed and full text for academic research. That means, what that means is these peer-reviewed and full text are, peer-reviewed means it's coming from an academic journal, and full text means you have access to the full text of the article, which is something you want. Okay, now, that reduced our yield to 3,459 different articles. Okie doke. Now, let's reduce this even more. Let's come to more over here by subject and tag. And let's click on one of these because I want to reduce this search even more. Let's click on, just for fun, police method stop and frisk. And that reduced our list to 81. Does everyone see that? Now, let's scroll to the bottom for a second. And there's 3 pages of results, which is perfect. Okay, so let's look at the first article. Let's take a look at the first article. The title of this article is The Consequences of Disparate Policing, Evaluating Stop and Frisk as a Modality of Urban Policing. That's the name of the article, and it's an academic journal. It's written by Aziz Hook, and it was published in the Minnesota Law Review in June of 2017, and the volume and issue number, and the article itself is 84 pages long. Does everyone see that? Now, if I wanted to learn a little bit more about this article, I would hover over the word more. And you see what just came up? This right here is the abstract of the article. So I can read that to determine if I want to further, I'm interested in this and want to use it as a resource and so forth. So let's say, for argument's sake, I don't want to use that. Let's come to the second one. Again, that's a Georgia Law Review. Let's come to this third one here, Sociology Compass. For some reason, it just attracted my eye because of the word sociology. So it's written by a guy named Jose Torres. It's 9 pages long. But let's say I was interested in that. Now, you see over here this PDF icon and full text. I want to right-click and open this up in another page, the PDF. Because I want to show you something. You see right here, the PDF right here? This now is the article. And it's at 10 pages right here. And there's 3 things I can do with this. A, I can read it as it is. B, I can print it. Or I can download it. Or the other thing I can do, which I want to show you back here on the original page, is I can email it to myself. Because let's say I don't have time right now because I'm doing research and I want to read it later. So I'm going to, you see this little envelope icon? I'm going to click on that and I'm going to type in my email address. Now, if you're doing going to be sitting down doing research for a while, I would encourage you to cut and paste your email address. That way you don't have to type it over and over again if there were like 5 or 6 articles that you like. Then I'm going to hit that send. Now that particular article was emailed to my self. So if I pull up my email, it'll be listed there in my emails. So let's say, for example, let's pull up another. Let's say I was interested in this Stop and Frisk City, an article that's 25 pages long. I'm going to click on the email icon. Remember, I just cut and pasted my email address, so I just have to cut and paste and send. Now, I have 2 articles that were just sent to me. So that's how you do that in an academic database like ours. Pretty simple. Now, some of you are thinking, well, I can do the same thing in a commercial search engine like Google. Well, you can, but the yield isn't going to be as effective. And I'll show you why in a second. So we're going to type Stop and Frisk just like we did in the academic database. And notice we have 13 million results, which is a lot more results than what we found in the academic database. Problem is, I don't have time to read through 13 million websites or articles or whatever is coming forth here. First thing I wanted to show you is that you get an enormous amount of hits with no way to thin this out. So you're stuck with like scrolling through and thinking to yourself, well, maybe the article on page 6 or 7 is really good, but let's not do that. Let's come back here to this page here. This one here, Stop and Frisk. Now, one of the things I wanted to tell you is that there are people that are paid gobs of money to promote websites, different ideas, terms, and things of that sort. So you don't know when you're scrolling through a search on a commercial search engine if it's a paid promotion or if it's a legitimate website or whatnot. So I would encourage you strongly not to use Google or Yahoo or Bing or DuckDuckGo to do searches for academic research purposes, because you'll be spinning your wheels not finding things that you want to. You'll get better results and a better yield if you use the academic database that we have here at the college. And that's how you do a quick search in an academic database and a commercial search engine. Remember, there's an aesthetic component to your education, so enjoy this process while it lasts.